Hey everyone, Spider-Man 1991 here to review my comic books for the week. First I only have one DC title, Brightest Day number 23. Our setup here is that Earth is now being taken over by some weird black force of death. Skies are turning black and the Earth itself is going crazy. And so far the only place that's not affected is the forest in Star City. And apparently, though, not everyone can get in, only the chosen, as the entity puts it. So it's also revealed that the entity could have teleported itself out of the antimatter universe, but it needed Ronnie Raymond to witness Professor Sign's death so that he could somehow come out stronger from it. And next thing you know, Hawk and Dove are automatically transported to the forest, and Captain Boomerang's making his way over there. And just as they're starting to understand what's going on here, pretty much the entity of death or whatever has showed up. Not so sure if this is the antimatter or something. It's just basically, I'm guessing, it might be residue of the Black Lanterns and stuff who've somehow poisoned the Earth. But anyways, we also get another the Black Avatar. I think that's what they're calling. Yeah, that's what they're calling it. It is able to get through the forest barrier, and Captain Boomerang starts sprouting his boomerangs that he's supposed to throw at Dove for some strange reason. And then Deadman hits Firestorm with his ring, and apparently it pretty much gives Firestorm an extra boost of power, as it did to the Hawks, Aquaman, and Martian Manhunter. It's pretty much gave them extra power and turned them into sort of avatars of the Earth. Earth, wind, and fire. And water. Yeah, I pointed the wrong one. And so basically the entity sends off its avatars to deal with the Servant of Death. And it says that the truth, the White Lantern symbol, holds the salvation and the one true protector. And the protector of the Earth is now revealed to be, spoiler alert, Swamp Thing. Yeah, all that work just to bring Swamp Thing back. Okay. So, how did I feel about Brightest Day? Well, the whole revelation that Swamp Thing was the one they were trying to bring back makes perfect sense since, well, he is a Swamp Thing and he's part of the Earth and the entity would need something to defend the Earth. So, what better candidate than someone whose powers actually derive and is from the Earth? Swamp Thing. So yeah, I would say that this is that we're getting one more issue away in Brightest Day, and this is a great way to sort of tie it all together. We're getting close to Captain Boomerang and Hawk completing their tasks and apparently earning their lives back. So yeah. Though interesting enough, though, not all the characters who were brought back were in here. Jade wasn't there, Osiris, Zoom, all those guys, most of those guys weren't there, which is kind of a disappointment, but still, this issue is awesome, and about 2 weeks, in about 3 weeks, the Brightest Day finale is going to come out, so pick that up when you get the chance. Now moving into Marvel. Ultimate Comics Spider-Man 156. This came out 2 weeks ago, and I was finally able to get it because of shipping issues with my local comic book store at school. Anyways, this is part 1 of the Death of Spider-Man story, and it is a great setup. We've got Norman Osborn revealed to be alive, although Shield and Osborn have no idea how. And next thing we know, Peter and MJ are eating lunch together. Then Peter gets a call from Captain America to come to his next superhero training lesson. But meanwhile, at the Triskeleton, Osborn repowers into his goblin form, destroys most of it, then breaks out the rest of the Sinister Six, and they all escape prison. And Captain America gives Spider-Man a little lesson about life and death, and how he, even though death is inevitable, he should do his best to survive, and as well as saving civilians. And he needs to fight like others depend on it. and tells him he needs to be smarter in battle and stuff. But then Cap gets a call saying that Fury's Black Ops Squad, the Ultimate Avengers, is going crazy in the city, which has something to do with New Ultimates versus Ultimate Comics, which I haven't really picked up since the first issue. And Cap goes zooming off and tells Spider-Man to stay there, but Spider-Man doesn't listen. Follows Cap. And now the Sinister Six have kind of sort of set up their own, have escaped custody, and they've sort of settled into someone's apartment, and then they notice the battle of the Ultimates and the Avengers. And then Peter's there. He sees huge bombing at the bridge. He gets a call from MJ, and she tells him that Osborn's alive, and the Sinister Six is broken out of prison, and they knew who he is, so he has to go save Aunt May and Gwen and the rest and his family quickly. Okay, so now Peter knows that the Sinister Six is out, and they're going to kill him. So now what's going to happen to Peter? Who knows? This issue, a nice setup, villains escaping, Spider-Man learning about it, so can't wait to see how the rest of this turns out. Not bad setup, but still want to see the rest of it. Alright, now for the Marvel Comics of this week. Annihilators number 2. Okay, my last review, when I reviewed the first issue of this, I didn't really get into much detail about it, but I read Annihilation. That was amazing. That's about it, though, from what I've read. And I've checked out some stuff about Rom the Space Knight so that I would have some more information about where the story's set. And this issue was pretty amazing. We've got Dr. Dredd. He pretty much took the Black Sun, which is the power source for the Space Knight's enemies, the Dire Wraiths, and he's moved into taking it from the Black Nebula, and he's repowered them, so now they're attacking Galador. Yeah, Galador, that's it. Unfortunately, though, Dredd makes an escape. The Annihilators follow him, and they pretty much go to town on all the Wraiths. And then Icon, the Space Knight that told them about what's going on, tells them that they need to get rid of the Black Sun in order to block the Black Sun's rays in order to depower their enemies. Fortunately, Beta Ray Bill is pretty much the cosmic representation of Thor, and he's able to conjure up a storm that's reinforced by Quasar to block their power. Then the Annihilators see Dredd, and fortunately, Ronan, the Accuser, is able to depower him thanks to his Kree weapon, which can affect matter transmutation and rearrangement. And it's also a giant hammer. He actually says that. And after they beat Dredd and sort of block the sun, Surfer figures out who's behind all this. And apparently it was Rom's wife. Well, Rom's dead, and Rom's wife apparently made a deal with the Wraith to sort of bring the Black Sun in, to sort of lead their attack on Galador, because she was worried that the Space Knights lost their way and that they were warriors without a cause. And while they were and the Surfer does kind of give her a little benefit of the doubt by saying that she's a little still grieving over the loss of her husband and stuff. But then all of a sudden the Wraith Queen shows up and attacks the Annihilators, and that's where their story ends. The other story features Rocket Raccoon and the Groot, which I did not like. It was just a little too... what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say stupid or immature. I just want to say it was just not my kind of thing. It just seemed a little too far-fetched. Yeah, I'll go with that. I'll just say it was far-fetched. I did enjoy the main Annihilator story. That was amazing. If you're a fan of any of these cosmic heroes, or if you loved Annihilation, or if you're a fan of Rom the Space Knight, then I'd recommend picking this up. It's amazing. Alright, now for my final comic, Avengers, the Children's Crusade number 5. We are back in the main storyline, and Iron Lad shows up. He's able to get with the Young Avengers, and they're able to save Wanda and Billy from Dr. Doom. And unfortunately, though, Billy's still depowered, so Iron Lad takes them out is able to make sure they leave with time travel. And while they're in the time stream, they decide to sort of they decide to sort of go back in the past to sort of help Wanda recover her memories and stuff. And Iron Lad says that he's developed new technology so that they can go back and observe the past, but without altering anything. And we do get a little competition here between Vision and Iron Lad because they both like Cassie and stuff. So there's gonna be some friction between those two. And unfortunately, though, Cassie sees her father, and Cassie's dad sees her. So not good. So Iron Lad's technology still isn't 100% efficient. And right when she's sort of introducing the Young Avengers to her dad, he asks, "Hey, that Jack of Hearts costume is in poor taste." And then they notice Jack of Hearts, which, if you've read Avengers Disassembled, this is how it begins, with Jack of Hearts' corpse coming back and blowing up the entire mansion. So Ant-Man and the Young Avengers are able to get away. Wanda's still near Jack right when he's about to explode. Fortunately, Speed grabs her in time, but Jack still explodes. And apparently they're all back in the main timeline, but there's still an Ant-Man memorial statue, even though Ant-Man's alive with them right now. So, and then the event, and spoiler alert for the closing, Wanda has her memories and her powers back. This is one of those things that can either be good or bad. Because Scarlet Witch is essentially one of the most powerful people in the Marvel Universe. The last time she had her powers, she just said no more mutants, and all of a sudden, the number of mutants was reduced to now it's 200, so yeah, don't know if this is good or bad, but I cannot wait to see how this story turns out. Okay, Avengers Children's Crusade, still a great story. Love the Young Avengers. Pick it up. And that's it. Alright. And that's it, all I have to say. Last weekend was WonderCon, though. And some new footage of the Green Lantern was able to get out on the internet. And it's amazing. After seeing that footage, I now feel stronger about the Green Lantern movie. I was a little worried because I saw all the movies Marvel was going to release this summer, and I thought, oh man, Green Lantern, I'm not excited for Green Lantern now. But I saw the new footage of Green Lantern, and now I'm more excited for it. My top movie is pretty much tied between X-Men First Class, Green Lantern, and Captain America now. Thor, I'm kind of lowering the bar on that. I think it would be a good adaptation. I'm just not really a big Thor fan. Okay, so recap. Avengers the Children's Crusade. Awesome. I'm loving this series. Pick it up if you're a fan of the Young Avengers, or if you were a fan of the Avengers right before Disassembled. And also, this is my comic of the week. Annihilators, number 2. Amazing. Pick it up if you're a fan of any of these guys. Silver Surfer, Ronin, Quasar, Beta Ray Bill, Gladiator, or Rom and the Space Knights, or DNA. Ultimate Spider-Man, Death of Spider-Man Part 1, number 156. I would say you can pass if you want to. It sort of sets everything up. I'm not saying it's essential, but it kind of gives you an idea about how everyone got here, so you can pass it if you want. But I do like Captain America's speech that he gives to Spider-Man, so pick it up if you want, skip it if you don't. And my only DC title, Brightest Day, number 23. Nice issue to kind of keep you holding on there to the end, with the revelation of who the Protector is and what's going to happen. And I'm interested to know how this series is going to tie everything in and how it's going to conclude. And that's all. Again, comic of the week was Avengers, the Children's Crusade, number 5. Okay, that's all I have to say. Spider-Man 1991 saying, see you later.